Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Do A Powerbomb Issue 1 Director's Commentary. I'm Daniel Warren Johnson. Here's a beer. Congratulations to me. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you, everybody, for buying the book. Incredible amount of support shown. So great. Thank you so much to everybody again. Oh my gosh. I can't even believe it. I can't believe the book's out, honestly. And it's out. It's here. We're doing it. We did it. I did it. Crazy. um, but man, I'm so glad to be here. Don't mind me as I just adjust my screen here. I'm doing my best. I have your comments up here. I'm looking at the camera here, but oh, Comic Tropes is here. What is up, Chris? Thanks for being here, man. Hi, Victor. How are you? Hello, Tusk and Sean and Dom. So I did not throw copies in the ring at AEW Forbidden Door, but I did wear my shirt, my Do A Powerbomb t-shirt, which is available to order. I know that the sizes have now, a lot of the sizes have sold out. We have put in a new order. It should be here in about 10 days or so. We're going to put them right back up, and I'll let everybody know when those t-shirts are back up and available to order. So that is the t-shirt update. And yes, I wore my Do A Powerbomb t-shirt, and so did all my friends. It was 4 of us wearing the t-shirt. I am that guy. Do not care. What is up, Maeve Rock? All the way from Australia. Looking forward to seeing you at New York Comic Con as well. I'm still learning how to light myself on both sides. This is as good as I could do. It's a little bright, but I couldn't figure out any other way to do it. So, hello. Hi, Andy. Great to meet you in Greensboro as well. I was hanging out with Acme Comics 2 weekends ago. It was a great time. Man, it was just, they're great people. Oh, my camera fell. They're great people, and it was a great time. And I had great people. I had a line like the whole time. I was there for 4 hours. Incredible turnout. Permission to drink granted. Let's take a sip. I did. I had some pals. Yep. Well, heck yeah, we are. We're into wrestling now. Yes, way to go. So, let's get right into it. I mean, I have a whole setup here. I'm gonna try and share my screen. Let's see here. Share screen. This screen. Yep. Boom. So, on the left side, we've got my thumbnails, and on the right side, in big bold, we have my raw scan. So I move a little too fast, honestly, to scan my pencils, but I do have a very messy page at the end of it. You can see here, if I kind of zoom in, you can see kind of the gunk all up in there, and the kind of whiteout that I've done. Hold on. I'm going to have to take another sip of my beer while I gather my thoughts and look at your comments. When is the belt replica? I've been thinking about it. There's some pretty cool belt replica companies out there, and I really want to get in on that. We'll see. I did see that. I did see that Logan Paul joined WWE. I'm not a fan of Logan Paul, so I guess he's a heel. Who knows? Quick thought on Blood and Guts. I thought it was awesome. I feel bad for Santana, but I wish him the best, and it was a great show. Yes, please, Stacy, thank you for the reminder. I'm not good at this YouTube thing, but I guess if you press the like button, it helps me out. So please do that now. Muscle Hamster asks if I got any like wrestlers I got feedback from. I did. I got wrestlers. I got the wrestlers. Colt Cabana really liked the book. Paloma Starr really liked the book, and Christopher Daniels also really liked the book. They're also all on the cover of the Challengers exclusive to issue one, which I'm sure they still have copies available. You can order that on their website. Um, oh, hoodie. Thank you so much. Thank you for putting your hard-earned money towards that, towards my book. It means a lot. Welcome. I'm sorry you can't stay the whole time, but hey, rock and roll. Um, okay, so we're just gonna go through like page by page, I suppose. And I truly, one thing I wanted to mention, I truly do uh love Mike's colors, and Russ does a great job in lettering. But I know that a lot of us that are in this stream right now are, we're working on making our own comics, or we're really excited to see the behind the scenes process. So I've decided to show you the two black and white kind of columns, for lack of a better word, that will help kind of like break down the visual process of how I got from point A to point B. Because you can see the final product in the actual printed comic of Do a Powerbomb. So that's why we have what we have here. Um, so my my script is like really simple. A lot of people, how I write scripts, and a lot of the work does come in the thumbnail stage. And you can see that as I like kind of scroll down here. We've got like a bit of a different vibe here. And one thing I noticed, this is like, I don't know, this isn't really advice time, but whatever. If you'll notice on this page, there's nobody's feet. There's no feet on this page. And I forget where I heard it, but I like to default to showing a whole body at least one time on the comic page, always on every page. So, like, there should be one panel where you can see everybody's whole body in the comic page. That's a rule that I have gone by for years, and it has not led me wrong yet. And if I just force myself into that, no matter what, I find that my pages are just better. The whole vibe, it just works way better. So you can kind of see the gist here, and I kind of wanted like a ESPN kind of like graphic on the bottom, but it didn't really end up happening. I wanted to just leave as much room as possible so I could see our characters. And I definitely did design this belt on the fly. Um, yeah. It's not my golden rule, Chris. I mean, I stand by it, but I don't remember who said. I read it in an interview somewhere. I was also practicing my Japanese writing, which I am very bad at, and I am trying to pay attention to stroke order. This is Japanese lettering, very terribly written for um, pro wrestling, Pyoto Resu. Um, it's not good. I was trying to add it into this here, but it was like turning out so poorly that I just abandoned all hope. Um, However, as we kind of scroll down, you'll see that things have changed over here on the left from page 2. I needed our main character of this issue, for the first half of this issue rather, um, U.S. Steel Rose, to be addressing her husband that walks into the room a little bit more. She looked a little bit like staring off into space, and there was no real reason. I really loved this drawing. I think the gesture is like really solid. I don't like this drawing at all. This drawing makes me crazy. I slaved over this drawing. Um, I wish that I liked it more. I drew this and drew this and drew this, and finally I was like, I just need to get through this. And in a lot of ways, issue ones for me in the art stage are so hard, because you're trying to figure out like how to draw the characters, what's the tone, am I trying anything new stylistically? It's really tough. I'm not trying to complain here, but yeah, I can't stand this drawing. Oh my gosh. And I worked so hard on it, Like I put hours in. It's not like I was just breezing through. Um, I do like this panel. I think this panel is pretty good. This is a great panel here. I like that one. Um, yeah, but as a whole, very frustrated with this page. Um, Moving on, I'll get to some questions. I know they're pouring in like a ton. I'm going to take another drink of beer and look at some questions. Yeah, Vince Rush, just the struggle twice. Yes, the struggle. It does get better. Like, now I just finished issue 5, the inks on issue 5, a little bit ago. And issue 5, smooth sailing, like there's still times where it's tough, but like the characters and the tone, it's all there. Click. Issue 1, every page is like really tough to get through because you're like, God, like the first time I ever really drew these characters like in full detail is in page 1, like right here. I was basically like making this belt up on the fly. I knew more or less his design, Cobra Sun's design. Um, you also notice that I gave him a first name to start, and I just removed that because I was like, what wrestler names have a Cobra Sun? And it just didn't work. Cobra Sun was just a way better name. All right, so I did add some screen tone here. Let's see. Oh, let me get to some questions here. Issue 5, I'm already starting. I just finished issue 2. Sorry, I've just finished page 2 of issue 6 today after taking my time with the thumbnails of issue 6. But Bandits asks if this is an ongoing. It is not an ongoing. It is 7 issues. 7 issues, and then it is done. I do have ideas for a prequel, and I do have an idea for a sequel, but I also need money. So I'm not sure. We'll see how well the numbers do as the series goes on. Do a Powerbomb playlist. That's not a bad idea. I should probably get on that. Good idea, Elias. Some new things I did in this issue. Oh, gosh. Okay. So first, okay. How do I say this? U.S. Steel Rose is 100% Japanese. Cobra Sun is from Canada, so he's like, Caucasian. I was trying to figure out, like, okay, I know, I mean, I don't want to sound, I don't want to get canceled here either. Okay, I'll just be honest. I'm just like really good at drawing white people faces because I guess of my privilege or what have you. It's something that I'm trying to work on. I'm trying to get better at drawing different kinds of faces. I'm trying to introduce more diversity into my comics in a way that's natural, right? And I'm also like not super great at drawing Japanese people. Like, and it's this like weird thing about cartooning where you're always trying to like represent like something and show people like, hey, this person is Japanese, but you also don't want to like go down into like cartoonish stereotypes as well. So one thing that I was trying to do new was draw people that looked Japanese, and man, it is really hard because you're trying to be subtle. I'm trying to be subtle. I don't want to like bang people over the head with it. I hope that makes sense. But it's like it's part of the story, She lives in Tokyo. She's Japanese. I'm trying to make her look Japanese. And the same with Lona. She's Japanese. I'm trying to make her look Japanese. And it's like, but I'm also trying to cartoon. I don't want things to look too stiff either. Anyway, you guys understand what I'm talking about. A little goes a long way. Thank you very much. Yes. And of course, I do not want to like draw stereotypical Asian people in any way, shape, or form. I'm honestly just trying to represent with respect different cultures, different people, and just the way that people look. So, anyway, that's something that I did new. I feel like I did an okay job on this panel. Yeah. So, here we go. We got Uncle Blood coming in with the tickets. One thing that's really tough to draw backstage of a wrestling show, there's like no reference of that at all on the internet. So, I don't know. I just like drew ladders and stuff and like cords. And I feel like all the production people in wrestling wear shorts for whatever reason. So here though, I remember feeling good about this sequence. And I remember having this panel, this idea, this idea of this panel for a solid 6 months before I even drew it. I like knew this was going to be in there. Two lovers looking at each other right before they walk, or she walks through the ring. So let's see. Uncle Blood. You know where I got Uncle Blood? My uncle Kevin, he lives in Massachusetts. My family on my dad's side loves to give all their loved ones nicknames. So my mom is on Sting because she was in the pool and she got stung by something, but she doesn't know what. This is way back. This is like before I was born. And then from there on, all my aunts and uncles on my dad's side call my mom Aunt Sting and or just Sting. And my uncle cut his leg or something. He's gonna probably call me after this and correct me, but my uncle cut his leg and it would not stop bleeding. And so this is some point like during a family reunion, and everybody called him Uncle Blood, including me. So thank you, Uncle Kevin. I totally stole your nickname, and I told him I was going to do it too, and he thought it was pretty cool. My nickname, I don't have a nickname. The only nickname that I have is on YouTube, and that is D Dubs, and I got that from YouTube, not my family. So rock and roll. All right, moving on to the next page here. So one thing I was trying to do here, drawing crowds again and again and again and again, panel after panel after panel. I knew this was going to be a challenge, and it was one of the most intimidating things about sports-ish kind of, uh, crowd-based entertainment action that I wanted to have and wanted to really highlight because in pro wrestling, the crowd is, as we all know, super important. And I'm going through all of these different mangas like, gosh, Tough, um, Burning Women's Wrestling. Oh gosh, the boxing one that is super famous that I should know the name of and I don't know it. Oh, I'm so sorry. I have the manga. Oh my gosh, what is it? Um, oh, thank you, Mr. Ruff. If I lose my train of thought, I'll just answer questions. Thank you. Yes, comic book critic. Streamers are from the 90s kind of all Japan pro wrestling vibe where and from like 90s women's wrestling where they would throw streamers into the ring, which I guess is not allowed anymore, at least not in Japan or in the States. Um, Hajime no Ippo, I think is what it's called. Uh, yeah. So that is another one where I'm like seeing like how did they draw these crowds? And honestly, from what most of the I could gather, at least in manga, the crowds were drawn like like well, but they're relatively stiff and they don't necessarily fit with the intensity and dramatic movement that's happening within the center of the action, which is in the ring. Um, so I have tried to be as organic as possible, and you'll notice when I draw crowds, I will draw like one face, maybe another face, and then I will mostly fudge the rest of it, and it's all noise. And if you kind of notice, like if you're watching wrestling, you're not focusing on the people behind the wrestlers or the people watching. You're watching the wrestlers. Your eye focuses in on what's actually happening and what's important for your understanding of the thing that you want to see, and it all kind of blurs out from there. So that's what I was trying to do with Do a Power Bomb. And I remember drawing this belt, being like, man, this belt is really hard to draw. I probably should have figured this out before I drew it on page one. um, this was a tough panel to draw, trying to figure that out. Um, gosh, it's taking me back. Like, there's a lot of stress going into these pages because you're still unsure of yourself. You're like, I'm basing my career on these story that I just came up with in my head. It's a little crazy and it's also magic, but um, okay, here's having another drink. You'll notice that, well, I don't know if you can tell. Originally, Yua was going to be in a panel here, and this whole little line here is me kind of deciding that I wanted it to be an open panel, which is a really great way. You see she's in the panel over here. She's in a panel. Here it just is a little more. It gives us a space. It gives us a beat. Um, and but the rest of it is like pretty much broken down. So then we go back and having to draw these like same scenes, but again and again is it's not fun, but it's okay. You just like put your head down, you get it done. And I remember this drawing a person like walking and pointing, just walking relatively casually, insanely difficult. Um, and also, as you will redo a power bomb, you'll notice that Cobra Sun's mask will like kind of change organically because I just learned how to draw it better and better. So that's another thing. It's like every panel, it's like a little different as I get my feet under me. Oh yeah, Uncle Blood says she's just the best. Yeah, that's negative space. Super important when implying large crowds. Also, you'll notice like here, there's like a you know, when you see wrestling shows, it's like there's the atmospheric perspective. It's just like this light is just kind of like uh, blocking out the back of the crowd a little bit. It doesn't happen in every show, but I did not copy and paste anything. The only thing I copied and pasted was nothing, I think. Um, I basically just like drew every single thing you see here. Um, if I do copy and paste something on another one, I'll definitely tell you. But um, smoke, yeah, it helps. It's like a way for me to get out of having to draw people's feet in this panel. Where it's like I can draw feet, but I don't want to draw a million feet. I just don't want to do it. I'm sorry. Um, Ooh, Luis asks where the stickers are. Stickers are coming. We realized when we ordered the stickers that we can't actually mail them without some sort of backing board, otherwise they'll just come terribly bent. So we're working on getting some cardboard to put that's strong enough that we can put it into an envelope. They're coming. We wanted to have them ready to go at the launch of the book, but they took forever to get here because of COVID backup, blah blah blah. Um, Thanks, Alex. We're getting there. So let's keep going. All right, so we got our first real page of action. Definitely love these kind of transitions here where you have a random object that just appears that makes sense. It just gets us from one scene to the next, so we can just go right into it. Um, and always having a lot of noise was very important for me. You'll notice that I will basically just go for it. Um, this I am pretty sure this cheer here, that is I think I would just do whiteout. I just like had a brush that I would just white out cheer with the whiteout, and then I will go over it with a pen after the fact. I think that's what I did. Um, Gosh, these orange tape is because I changed it. Why did I change it? Okay, I know. So I wanted the focus to be on Yua, not on Cobra Sun, because he wasn't the main character of this scene. So Yua starts. I wanted Yua to start the scene, then it would go to Cobra Sun. So I swapped here. This panel is the same. I remember really liking this panel, but I didn't want to start with a drop kick. I wanted to start with an enziguri kick. So enziguri, they're great. They're really cool. Like it's kind of like an MMA move. Uh yeah, comic tropes knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, the drop kick does look dude, Xavier, what's up, man? Drop kick looks great. And I may steal this for the later issues, but I just really wanted to have a moment where you have intense, 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 like action, 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 pause. 1, 2, 3, beat. Like 1, 2, 3, kind of like that. So if you kind of treat it like a little bit like music, which I don't know if I sound crazy, but 1, 2, 3, bam. 1, 2, 3, bam. With a crack here, which I don't know if I made up on the fly, but and I really liked this panel. So sometimes when I get freaked out about whiting out over panels, I'll take transparency, like a transparent layer, and I'll just tape it over and white out over that. I also, I also, I fit this panel in because I was afraid that we weren't getting into Lona's brain the way Lona was seeing the match enough. So that was another change on the fly, and I kind of like snuck it in there. It does kind of look like a flying knee. Um, Thank you, Dakota. I appreciate that so much. That's true. That's true, Chris. I mean, I think that was kind of in my head. Like um I wanted to start a little more chill, but you know, this is still like it's still pretty intense, but it's yeah. So then I love suplexes, and I love when this does not happen often in wrestling because it's really dangerous. Not often do you have someone get suplexed out of a ring. That like never happens, and I thought it might be fun to have a little fun and just show something that doesn't normally happen. Also, it's basically impossible to suplex somebody that far like into the stands, but we are talking about comic books here. So, yeah. Also, okay, I changed this too. I needed this whole I moved things around a little bit. I wanted this to be on a not I can't remember if it's on a page turn or not, but 8, 9. I don't think it is it's not on a page turn. But there's this breakdown, and this is influenced by a lot of the wrestler Pac. I don't know if anybody knows Pac. Um Also known by the name of Neville in WWE. He does a Sai moonsault, which is like jumping off the rope and doing a backflip. I have it here. Let's see. So it's right. Yeah, it's like really incredible. I don't know if I'm going to get in trouble for showing this. I guess we'll find out. Like, that's just absolutely amazing and really dangerous. But it's amazing to see. He's like flying. It's like an actual superhero. So thank you, Pac, for the inspiration. Um, and I really like the timing here and that tension of the rope. So fun to play with as you move into what I consider to be one of the best panels in the book. Um, Having fun with physics, it is the best. And honestly, like wrestling uses a lot of physics, a lot of momentum, kind of like dancing, that tension and release, the spring of the rope it makes so much sense because everybody knows what a wrestling rope does. Just like, you know, if you draw somebody holding a really big wrench, it's everybody, it's heavy. Everyone knows it's heavy because everybody knows what a wrench does. So when you get hit with the wrench, it's like, oh, if you draw it right and you sell it right, you're helping take that kind of already known fact, just how intense something is, and just applying it to the actual scene you're drawing. So, same thing with wrestling. Like, not everybody knows how wrestling works, but everybody knows how a wrestling ring works and how ropes work. They're kind of springy. It just makes sense. And I'm using that to my advantage, and I'm trying to do that here. And man, I drew this I drew the crap out of this. This is such a great page. I'm happy with this one, guys. Fan holding his head in amazement. Thank you so much. Yeah, exactly. You see that. Like, and I was trying to like, what do people do? Because especially if I'm going to be fudging uh all of this, these kind of like the background, and it's a lot of noise. Somebody has to be doing something specific, like, oh my God. And you see that a lot in wrestling shows. People do a lot of this, they can't believe what's happening. And I did move the crash to this page. And one thing you'll notice, especially when you go here, um, let's see it one more time. This guy has his hands up to catch Pac. It's not like an actual move where you're like trying to hurt somebody. But it's really hard to draw where, this is a match. In the scene in the match, as we'll see, they are not actively trying to hurt each other. So I'm kind of using that comic book logic where, it really does look like they're trying to hurt each other, which is what pro wrestling is all about, selling it. But it's so much easier to do that in comics, but you're still playing with the fact, like, is this real or is it not? And comics is great at doing that. Yeah, so let's see. We'll go here, and this is pretty much panel for panel. I think I moved things around maybe a little bit. Here's where we're getting to the intense part. Oh gosh, probably Brian Danielson. I think favorite grappler, maybe. Uh, yes. Every once in a while, Chris, if you go to like an indie show, you'll see that happen, and it is crazy. It's crazy. That happened once at a GCW show. Somebody like flew into a crowd. It was wild. Um, so we're coming to this like intense part of the book here, and of course spoilers. But I mean, I'm assuming at this point everybody's read issue 1. We have a kind of slip. I'm seeing if it's like, I think I switched these panel. This is more of a profile panel, and I needed this. Yep, I needed this to be bigger, this to be a bigger moment, and I needed this panel to be bigger. So I moved things around so that we would really get a clear shot of what's happening and why it's happening and the reaction of people as it's happening, and selling it as a huge moment, which is brutal. It's terrible. Oh, I hated even drawing this. Heartbreaking. Uh, Thank you very much, Dakota. Yeah. Yeah, thanks, Chris. I appreciate that. To all your hearts, that's the goal. um, yep, the eyes really selling it. And that's where you really know, here it's like this I'm telegraphing to you, the readers, like, okay, this is a story or this is a scene where they're not trying to hurt each other. He does not want to hurt her. And here especially you see like his eyes here. Like that is a look of like severe concern. He does not want to be doing this. He does not want this to be happening. He's still reaching out trying to save her. And yeah, so scene was like super important to like let you know as readers, like, hey, this is like an actual like in real life pro wrestling scene. The stakes like they're not trying to hurt each other. It's all a show. That's still life or death, of course, but this was a tough one. This is like trying to get into that zone. For whatever reason, I didn't erase this. Very sad, Daniel. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, tough. This makes me think a little bit of like The Lion King for some reason. I don't know. Because like Mufasa goes pretty early, and I don't know if you necessarily see it coming, but here I absolutely love this panel. It's one of my absolute favorites in the whole series. I just feel like it just tells the story perfectly. It's dynamic. I I don't feel this strongly about all my panels, but holy crap, I killed this one. This is just like it's simple. Everything makes sense, right? Like you have this reaction. Like these announcers are kind of like stand-ins for the rest of the audience. Cobra Sun's holding his head in his hands. We got the ref that's like calling them over. It's just like, God, and it's not even like I don't really think these characters are drawn that well. I just think it works. Anyway. So this is also a panel that I also am very happy with. I'm happy with this whole page, honestly. And just this kind of like really like camera in angle of just like all this chaos, and she's tearing off her mom's bandana. Yeah. And then we have a callback to whoever was watching that television on panel 1. Oh, sorry. I'm bad about. Oh, $1 Million Baby, sure. I use a 08 micron. That helps a lot. Yep, that's a slight shout out to, who you may know as a famous commentator in wrestling. Chris, that was exactly the goal. Exactly the goal. Yes, Dakota, I think a big part of that was like, I'm not like playing any tricks here. I'm not like going forward and going back in time to like show you what really happened. Like we're starting at A and we're finishing at whatever letter we end up at, but we're starting from the beginning. Thank you very much, Hoodie. I really appreciate that. I'm doing my best. I want things to be real. I want people to feel things, so that means a lot. Yeah, my God. Yeah, exactly. You guys know what I'm talking about, but it's not. It's officially not, because I would get sued. Um, it's just like a little, it's just like a little shout out, you know. All right, so let's keep going. All right, so moving down to the hospital scene, which I did change a little bit. This is her mother's headband, which she took off her mom, and just a little bit of letters just to kind of everybody can kind of tell where we are. And here I just really wanted to show, and you'll notice I actually changed the layout a little bit. Here it's side to side. Here it is below because I really wanted this panel just so I could go crazy on the detail. Like this kid loves her mom. She loves pro wrestling. Um, it's one of my favorite too. I'm not sure if it's my favorite in the issue, but fisheye indeed. This took forever. Um, so I'll tell you my process. So first, when I'm working on the page, I will draw a line right down the middle, and I'll find my vanishing point. So oh gosh, the horizon line is up here somewhere, right? So and it's a 1 point perspective with a fisheye. So vanishing point's like right here, right? So if you go down here, it's going that way, that way. You guys can kind of see what I'm saying, right? Then what I'll do, this is before I draw anything. So I've got my vanishing point, my horizon line, draw that. Then I go down, I measure the middle of the panel, and I make a line straight down the middle of the panel. Then I'll take my pencil, and I'll go like this, and I'll go like this, where it's a little bit, you know what? Oh, I can't open Photoshop because my computer will crash. So I'll just fudge it, right? I'll just like make my own makeshift. I'll kind of fake it, right? But I know generally how it works. Then I will light shop, or I'll light box the scale, my page onto a spare piece of paper, then take that spare piece of paper and move it over to the right side, and I will use the light box to trace exactly what I drew on the left side on the right side. And so it doesn't matter if it's totally perfect, as long as it's correct, as long as it's what's the word? Equal on each side, as long as it's exactly the same on each side, which you will do um, with transparency and tracing. That is the way to go, and that's the way that I do a fisheye. Um, all right, I'm gonna look at a few questions and have a drink. Oh, Kingdom Comic. How long was this story in my head? This story was in my head really since like late 2018. You know, I started watching wrestling seriously in like early to mid 2018, and then I started thinking about, man, what would it be like to have a pro wrestling story where I'm mixing these things that I love, like Dragon Ball Z, pro wrestling, tournament comics in general, with kind of my aesthetic, and see if I could bring a really cool vibe to the table. And I feel like, I mean, I love pro wrestling so much. I felt like I could really instill my own sense of passion into the book, and but it wasn't necessarily reality. It took a long time to gestate. And then I got into wrestling even more in 2019. I started watching AEW as they came to the States, and I just got more and more excited about the possibility of doing it. I had more and more ideas, but it has been a book that has basically been, 3.5 years in the making. So, um, right on, May the Rock. That makes me very happy. Oh, who/what inspired Necroton? Well, I don't want to give away too much. We get to hear in issue 2 a lot more of Necroton's kind of drives and what makes him as a character and how he ticks. So I won't speak to his actual personality because that does have inspiration from specific places. But as far as the inspiration visually, I just wanted a guy that maybe looked like he shopped at Hot Topic, uh, with like spikes on his head. So he looks kind of like a male evil version of the Statue of Liberty for whatever reason. But I don't know. I just like the character I had in my head, and I only drew him once in my sketchbook, and I was like, that's it. Whereas the main characters, I drew over and over and over and over and over again. What's up, Jim? Welcome to the chat. I don't know if you've been here for a while, but good to have you. Good seeing you at HeroesCon last weekend. Speaking of HeroesCon, if anybody's here who was at HeroesCon, thank you so much for showing up. Thank you for saying hi. What an incredible experience I had. Wow, just amazing. Everybody was so cool. Rock on. Let's go, Charlotte. Okay, so we kind of edited this here. And I knew I kind of wanted to make things look like a galaxy to kind of get an otherworldliness to this scene. And I feel like I did that pretty well, with the glow in the dark. And that was a note that I gave to Mike. I'm like, hey, Mike, make sure these look like glow in the dark stars. And if a few of them look like stars, then everybody kind of infers that the rest of them are. But they're also actual stars. It's like they're looking at the galaxy, but they're not. I don't know. And here, this is basically panel for panel the same. I remember being very happy with these hospital chairs. Not sure why. It is super fun. It is super fun, and it comes pretty easy. And it's like some of the ideas are great, some of them are bad, but even the bad ones can be great. So, there is. Oh yeah. So someone asks Pacific Rim Cherno Alpha in the detail. So we got here. We'll go into it. We got a Murder Falcon, Cherno Alpha, and I can't make out any of the other ones. Here is a Jushin Thunder Liger mask and a Murder Falcon poster. Yeah. I should have drawn Extremity here. Oh, and here's an AEW belt. There you go. Good times. Have I ever thought about writing for AEW? We did try and pitch them. We tried to pitch their licensor on a comic series, and he did not give us the time of day. Thank you, Victor. I'm doing my best. All right, let's keep going. So I do really love doing this kind of floor. Really fun. You can see the vanishing point right here. That is for here, and I forgot to get rid of it. I bet you it's in the printed version. It might not be. You can tell me if it is. I don't have my comic next to me. And then we flash forward. And I like using tones here. This is actual screen tone. It did print a little funny. Sorry about that. It has a little bit of the squarish effect. But yeah, I like this panel a lot. Notice that there's not a lot of crowds here, so I got so used to drawing crowds that I actually hated drawing chairs more. So this is the last time I ever draw empty chairs again. So here we go. We got same thing, doing a Falcon Arrow. It's a Falcon Arrow move. You can Google that if you'd like. And again, learning how to draw Lona as she has grown up to be a young woman. You can see the tape around her leg because I just got so frustrated with it that I just did it over again. I also used this scene to help build the idea that Lona is a tough individual, that she can make it through, and that she kicks out of stuff that maybe shouldn't be kicked out of, like the Falcon Arrow, kicking out at 2.5 or what have you. And a lot of times I will just get frustrated. I don't even white it out, and I'll just start drawing over it with a separate piece of paper because I just want to get it done with so quickly. A lot of open panels here. Yeah, I'm not sure why I changed. I think I was trying to, I might actually just be BSing, but I think what I was trying to go for is this is more of a scene on Lona, about Lona, and I wanted to focus in on her as a character and not worry too much about the details. Yes, a lot of energy in the automatopoeia. Uh, I use it as a source of like compositional. It's like a compositional tool for me at this point. Um, all right, let's keep going. And I'm gonna have another drink of beer. This is my second beer of the night, and I am feeling it. Mm. Here's the raw inks to my Journey into Mystery cover that I did for Hall of Comics that somehow made it into this PDF. Sorry about that. It's a great cover. It's really fun. Uh, I'm not. I just selected all the pages in my raw scans folder, and I guess this is in there. So there you go. Some free Throg art that I drew. Sorry about that. Oh, and we're okay. I guess we skipped a page. Shoot. Oh man, what happened? Oh no. All right, hold on. I thought I had my crap together, but I obviously don't. I don't know what happened to these pages. Where's this page? Oh geez. Um, man, I really wanted to highlight a page. So let me see if I can find it here. I'm gonna cut to going to the solo layout here. Hello again, and I'm going to see if I can find it. Sorry, everybody. 24. All right. So I'm gonna show you here quickly. All right. Go back to my screen here. Um, so you'll notice that this is the page that I wanted to highlight. So one thing I noticed about drawing scenes in Tokyo is that they take forever because they are so detailed. If you ever like actually like study any photography that's like in Tokyo, there's like so much stuff that the Japanese pack into their little spaces, and it's kind of what makes Tokyo look like Tokyo. So what I ended up doing is I actually made myself a 3-point perspective grid. So we got 1, 2, and 3 going across. And then I would just start drawing and I would just start going for it. So here, I did not even pencil. I just used a ruler and I faked my way through it, and I had specific reference that I would pull from. And I'd kind of like photo bash. I'd have a bunch of pictures in front of me, and I would just take from each pictures and just kind of make a nowhere, a place that doesn't exist, but using like specific little references to make noise that you would recognize as being like relatively Japanese. I did the same thing with this background as well. It actually worked really well because I just didn't want to have another blank space on the page. I wanted to have some atmosphere. And I did the same thing here. I made a 1-point perspective grid, and I just freehand. You'll notice it's like this is pretty wiggly. I did not use a ruler at all on this page. And it works. It just works. I did use a ruler for this brick. Let's see if I have anything else here. It's the first page. Here we go. Oh my god, this panel. Oh, what a hell. What a hellscape. It's my least favorite panel of the book. Couldn't draw Lona right. She's drawn too big. She's a monster compared to Uncle Blood. These lockers are ridiculous. Terrible, terrible. I think I was having a bad day for some reason. September 2021. September was not necessarily a great month for me last year for many reasons. I don't like that face. This whole page. Let's just move on. God. Ooh, okay, here we go. So here we've got a like kind of crucifix hold that is also inspired by Peck. He's one of my favorite wrestlers. He has a finisher called the Brutalizer that he uses on Kenny Omega. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah. There it is. And also here where he's actually like on top of Kenny Omega. This is kind of hard to see, but he like wraps up Kenny Omega while he's standing, and he actually he doesn't submit, he just like makes Kenny Omega pass out. So cool. I was there when I watched this show. I can't believe got I can't believe he like passed out. Crazy, 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 crazy. Okay, back to here. So I knew that I wanted to have some sort of submission move in there, and here it is. It was not easy to draw. Submission moves are incredibly difficult. You have to draw them exactly right, otherwise they don't make any sense. That's why this tape is here, because her head was originally like more over here, but it doesn't make any sense because the whole idea is that you're putting pressure on her neck. So if there's no pressure on her neck, then the move doesn't look good. Anyway, drawing wrestling. Here we'll talk about the cover a little bit. So this is actually a failed cover. There are two versions of issue 1 cover. There's the issue 1 cover that I did second, and this one, which I messed up. You'll notice the skull looks just like a little bit different. I had to move things around a little bit and change it up, and then I redid it because issue 1 covers are the worst, and all this like excitement and passion and like I can do it energy, you're trying to channel into one image that will help sell the book and actually also like be on the internet for the rest of time. And it's just the worst. It's just terrible. There's so much pressure. I do not thrive under that much pressure over lifetime pressure. Same thing with trade paperback covers. I hate doing trade paperback covers because that's on Amazon for the rest of time. It's never going away. Ugh. Moving on. So, here we go. We're back to it. We've got this, and one thing I really don't like doing is doing black for white electricity lines. But I couldn't figure it out because I knew I still wanted them to have a Tokyo background. So here's another transparency layer over here. This is not a replacement panel. There's a piece of clear paper, whatever you want to call it, where I drew the electricity on that and then pasted it over. I like this much better. It just looks better in black and white. I feel like this just looks messy. Now, of course, Mike Spicer took it and he made it amazing, which he always does. And you can see what I was going for over here. I don't know. There's no real good way to do it, but it makes Mike's life easier if I don't like put tone back here, and make this electricity. But that's a little pet peeve that I have, so I don't do that very often. And here's the double page spread. We'll do one page at a time. I was also, I don't have this in the thumbnails because I do my double page spreads in a separate document, but I was making this up on the fly. I rendered on the clouds because I was feeling like this design wasn't cool enough. So I do this thing called like anxiety rendering where like if I think a drawing isn't good enough, I'll just start throwing more lines on it to make myself feel better about it, which is not wise. I do not recommend that. I also forgot to draw Necroton's goatee here. So there's a little goof. Yes, totally. 90s, like 90s Hot Topic villain. Sometimes I think about color comic tropes, but most of the time I do not. The only time I really give him specific reference is if there's like a specific lighting source or lighting thing that I want to hit. Somebody said something nice about the Murder Falcon hardcover cover. Yes, thank you. That was one that I was happy with. One of the first that I've done. A little bit, Jordan. A little bit. I didn't want to copy myself too much. And also, like, here's a tiny little spoiler for issue 2 that nobody will really care about. But in issue 2, we will see the ring of this tournament. And this is kind of like a fake version of the ring, right? So like they're not actually going to wrestle on top of this mountain. It's going to look a little more normal. I was just trying to find a way to make it look absolutely intimidating as hell. So this is like in construction. So that's why it looks like this way. Oh yeah, and I had to draw a bunch of seats again. Terrible. These look better though. I kind of like recovered and figured out a good way to do it. Drawing a lot of crevices. I love drawing crevices, harsh angles. Time for another drink. And then we're over here. We're back to it. I did design this belt beforehand. I love the look of this belt. I would love to get this belt made. Is any metal workers in the chat? Thank you, Peniel. Mortal Kombat indeed. Very similar. I'll have to check it out. I have never checked it out. Thank you. I'm getting better and better at drawing rocks. I use a lot more parallel pens now. Thank you. This belt does roll. I'm so happy with it. Oh man, you think so? I hope so. Let's see. Please do the prequel. I want to do a Powerbomb Deluxe hardcover. I want that too. So, yeah, and here we come to the end of issue 1. I'd like to talk to you about bringing your mom back to life. And I like the way I did this drawing here. And then for whatever reason, in the print version, this just didn't really print that well. And it kind of looks like I messed up her forehead, but that's okay. That's small potatoes. This right here, very happy with how I drew that. Very happy. Really fun. Really fun. Also, this is a nice drawing. Belt hanging over a rope. Ring rope. It's great. Really fun. And there you have it. There's issue 1 of Do a Powerbomb. I've got some questions here. When is issue 2 out? Cannot wait. I can't wait either. It's off to the printer. It comes out July 20th. So excited for people to read it. Please let me know what you think. If I have time, I would love to do another one of these eventually. Piercing eyes, exactly. That's what I was going for. Trying to say a lot in one panel. Hello, Fragaboom. Thank you for being here, Comic Tropes, for real. Somebody asked, let's see. Super 7, hope Super 7 makes some muscle figs of my characters. Me too. Let's get it done. Somebody asked, how far ahead do you plan the story before production begins? Rude, while I was working on Beta Ray Bill, I wanted to have at least 3 issues ready to go for Do a Powerbomb. And I did it. I got 3 issues written, and that was a good, solid, foundation for me to start, where I'm like, okay, I know how the story's going to go, and I know that I am confident in the story in script form for at least 3 issues. I'm ready to start on issue 1. And that's exactly what I did. I gave myself about a little month of off of drawing comics every day, where I was still drawing, but some commissions, sketches, and covers, and taking a little time off after Beta Ray Bill because I busted my butt on Beta Ray Bill issue 5. And after that, I started going to Do a Powerbomb, and that was last year. So, is there going to be another James Aaron cover? James did issue 1. He's one of my favorite artists of all time. I knew I wanted him to take the B cover of issue 1. That being said, I have a different artist for each variant cover. There's going to be a variant cover for each issue, all 7. I'm going to be taking the A cover, and then the B cover will be done by a bunch of different people. We've got Tyrell Kinnan, Ryan Lee, Matthias Bergara, and more will be announced. Thanks for being here, John, and thanks for the ride to the airport. Absurd 13, Gentleman and a Scholar. Thank you, bro. Beta Ray was awesome, really fun. Wish me luck at the Eisners in a month. All right, John's got the question of the night. We're going to end with this one, I think. How do you know a story is good enough to start moving forward on drawing it? Well, I think that's different for everybody. I think there's a kind of feeling you get, at least no, okay, not you. There is a feeling I get when I start thinking about a project, when I think about the possibility of starting something new, which is always overwhelming. I think in a lot of ways, how do I put it? It's so much work to create a new thing out of nothing. It's like feels like you're trying to make magic out of nothing. At least that's how I feel. So I have to feel really good about it. I have to feel confident about it. I have to want to draw it, and I have to want to I have to be feeling. I have to feel good enough about it that I'm like willing to share it with people I don't know and put myself out there. It's a big deal. Your Goodreads reviews are brutal. Uh, so, you have to be able to stand by it, even if it maybe doesn't work out the way you want, and know that what you were going for at the beginning is something that was pure and was yours. And even if it isn't perfect, which it won't be, you know, you feel good about it, start about it. You'll kind of know. It's kind of a vibe. That's my advice to you, at least. Um, ooh, that would be super fun. Thanks, J. Rue. Thank you very much. Looking forward to C2E2. Some quick housekeeping stuff. As I said before, anybody who maybe missed out on a Do A Powerbomb t-shirt in their size, we do have a restock coming. We have extra larges and we have smalls left, but we have more coming. We're also actively figuring out how to ship out the stickers. The stickers are awesome. Oh, you guys want to see the stickers? Oh, hold on. Oh, let's see. Where are the stickers? I'm all kind of like locked in here. Hold on here. I want to show people stickers before we go. All right. We've got the Death Life Pro Wrestling Kiss Cut. This comes off. Oh, hold on. Let me see. Like so. So you can put it on your sketchbook or on your car or whatever. It's the actual shape of the belt. We have the Tokyo Grand Pro Wrestling Championship belt here. This is the belt that Ua Steel Rose is wearing and has in the first issue of Do a Powerbomb in the first few pages. We have a sticker of that Skybound cover, that's exclusive cover. This is really fun, and a logo, another Kiss Cut. So this can, and so on. Anyway. Really fun, right? They're going to be for sale soon, I promise. We're working on it. I will also have these with me at Fan Expo Chicago, which I am going to. I'll be there Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I will not be there on Sunday. I'm looking forward to seeing my Chicago buddies. Gonna be just hanging out. I mean, I think it's gonna be a pretty chill show, but if you happen to be around the Chicago land area, please come say hi. I will be there at that show. I think that's it. I'll be at San Diego doing some signings. That will be announced soon. I can't think of anything else, but I know there's other stuff. But I'll be back soon. And I'll see you tomorrow because I'm planning on going live again for Friday with D-Dubs. I want to thank everybody for being here. Thank you for joining me on the director's commentary of Do a Powerbomb, issue 1. I didn't make it through my whole beer, so that means I talked too much. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for being here. All these comments coming in. We have 114 people in the chat. That's crazy. That's amazing. I'm lit all weird. Thanks, Danny. Thanks, Mr. Ruff. Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Tusk. Thanks, Tusk. Thanks, Victor. Y'all are great. You deserve. Thank you. Alfonso, thank you. Cheers to you. Thanks, Daniel, Luis, John, Kevin. Kevin, the replay will be up ASAP. More drink streams. I know. I don't go as late on Friday with D-Dubs anymore, but I used to drink more on Friday with D-Dubs. But here I am. Director's commentary. Issue 1 came out. We got it out the door. It went to the printer. It's in your hands now. And issue 2 will be in your hands soon. See you guys tomorrow.